Talking. Hello, everyone. I am joined by the lovely Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading.
Hello.
Normally she says this about me, so it's quite fun that we get to do this the other way around.
We've swapped places.
We have. I need to go put your stuff in the comments, so I'll do that in the first sprint. I'll go and put your information in the description. That's the word.
The places.
In places. It will be around. You'll find her link somewhere if you're not already following her, which you probably are because she's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
You are awesome.
Everyone, let us know what you're reading so I can happily start. I haven't got the cover on it because I don't read hardbacks with the sleeves on.
Same.
But I'm reading How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, which, if you are doing Camp Crystal Lake, is our team book. With Team Jigsaw's team book. I forget not everyone is my team, even though you should be.
I mean, that's the correct team, right?
It's the correct team. We are the only team that had a film come out this year. Therefore, a team.
Winning.
Yeah. So what are you reading, Brittany?
I am going to be starting Dracula's Guest, which is a short story anthology of like vampire stories. So I don't know if they're going to be more like legend stories or if they're going to be more fictional. I'm not sure which way this is going to go. I'm kind of thinking it's more like legends. So like in this castle, there was a vampire kind of thing, like more like real, not real, because obviously vampires aren't real, but you know what I mean.
What are we saying? They're totally real.
Sure. So I'd like to get to part 1 of that because it's part 1, part 2, part 3 situation. So I'd like to do part 1 today.
Nice. That's how Carrie is written. There are no chapters in Carrie. It's just part 1 and part 2.
That's always so long.
Which was not the easiest thing to stop anytime soon, but
yes,
made it work. Luckily, it's a short book. All right, we have Lindsay. Hello. I'm going to be reading The Pram by Joe Hill and trying to finish Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. Is Joe Hill Stephen King's son? Yes.
That's what I was just about to say.
Fabulous. So we've got spooky and then less spooky. Awesome. We have Amanda. Hello. We have Kelly. Nice to welcome. Reading Fragile by Lisa Unger. 248 of 323. You can finish that tonight.
So close.
I believe in you. We have Jill. Hello. Listening to Assistant to the Villain. Let me know what you think because it's on my radar, but I don't have it yet. And I think I'd enjoy that
everywhere lately.
Yes, it seems to be all over TikTok as well. Not that my algorithm isn't quite BookTok, but every so often BookTok arrives and they'll talk about it. My algorithm tends to be animals doing silly things, which I think is perfect. So Amanda is going to be reading The Collector by K.R. Alexander, Haunted Dolls Middle Grade. You're reading the child's version of my book. Haunted Dolls.
What is everyone reading Haunted Dolls and Puppets?
I don't know. We're crazy. I'm intrigued, but at the same time, part of me doesn't want to read it. I got to a bit that there's taxidermy in this book. The mum had a lot of hobbies, of creative hobbies. And so some of the dolls are taxidermy squirrels. And that was not a fun scene. Hello, Joshua. Be reading The Reader. That is a very apt name for reading sprints.
Perfect.
Team Jigsaw is the best team. Yes, it is, Amanda. I'm glad you are on my page with this.
Facts.
We've got Effie. Hello. I've got 50 pages left of The Cabin at the End of the World. Should be wrapping that up. Again, let me know how that is because I think I'd really enjoy that. I've seen the trailer for the film. Is that the film? The one, it's got Jonathan Groff in it. And I think that's the only reason I noticed it.
I didn't know there was a film.
It might not be that book. But I think I've seen the trailer for the film because I love Jonathan Groff.
That's fair.
And, you know, the day I learned that he would never love me back the same way
was a devastating
inside of me.
It was a hard day.
It was such a hard day. I'm okay, though. We have Alicia. Hello. Currently reading Black River Orchard. Sounds good. Stephanie, hello. Reading Lore Olympus Volume 4, nice. And The Bewitching of Evelyn Jones. Almost done with both and then reading The Last Passenger. Is Evelyn Jones the middle grade one?
Yeah.
The Haunting was the first one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was meant to read that a few months ago. I had it from the library and I just never got around to it.
Yeah, I haven't read it either, but I do know that because I know it from, like, Jade talks about them fairly often.
I should have tried to fit it in for this month because it's spooky-ish.
Right, yeah.
So true. I read your book earlier this month. Yeah. Yeah, I hope the squirrels do not come back because I will tell you off of live sprints if you want, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone that might read it.
Yeah, no, tell me off sprints because I'm never going to read it. So that's fine.
We have Jem. Hello. It is long time no speak. I'm glad you're around. What are you reading today, Jem? If you're reading. That gave me nightmares. Yeah. I read up to the squirrels and then had a bad dream. It was nothing to do with the book, but it was a bad dream, and I was like, I'm not saying it's the book, but it's probably the book. And it was one of those dreams where, like, it was like dreamception because I woke up in the dream, and I was like in my bed. My TV, which is straight over there, was on, but then someone was filming me. There was like a camera over here. And I was like, no. If I don't come out of the quilt, they won't see me. And then I woke up. And my TV was actually on. So I was like, oh my God, what am I doing?
It's like when you wake up from a dream and it's happening in real life. And you're like, no.
They don't, so you're safe. Thank God for that. Although it might just get worse. It might get worse than squirrels. It's super strange. I'm still confused this close to the end. But in a way that works for the story. Yeah, the movie's Knock at the Cabin. I think I'm going to have to watch it. I think, and this is my weird knowledge of films, is it an M. Night Shyamalan film? Yes, it is. He does crazy, like, horror thriller type films that have massive twists and either work or don't work. So Jem is reading number 5 in the Robert Hunter series by Chris Carter. God, it's dark. Well, now I'm interested.
I love how we're both like, ooh, dark.
I like dark. It's the month of dark. That's my favorite series. I have the crucifix symbol from book 1 tattooed on me. Well, I'm gonna have to look that up as well. Once again, sprints are terrible for my TBR.
I'm looking it up right now. I don't have to control the comments. I can look things up.
Robert Hunter series. All right, I'm opening the Goodreads tab and I will have a look at the beginning of sprints. Yeah, book's got to be pretty good for you to get a tattoo of it.
Oh, it looks scary.
How scary. Thrilling.
Well, it's a thriller. So it's like a dark thriller, which is totally fine.
Thriller's fun. I don't read enough thrillers.
It looks kind of like Saw-ish.
Perfect.
But like not. But like,
yeah, close enough. I mean, there aren't many books out there that are like Saw-ish, so.
Now I'm going off the cover. So like basing this off very little information.
Fair enough. There's more than I love how on the page it says that there's more than one author with this name on Goodreads. But it has good reviews.
Yeah, it does.
It's got a 4.2.
Yeah.
On Goodreads. Yep, I'm gonna have to read them.
And I'm okay with like super dark books as long as I know that going in. Like, I just need to be prepared for that level of violence going in. As long as I know that, that's fine.
So it's a 12-book series so far. Book 13 comes out next year. A lot to read. I mean, you're talking to someone that has binged half of Zodiac Academy and the whole Ruthless Boy series. So I'm good at binging. Zodiac Academy, if you haven't already known, has taken over my life.
I was aware of this.
And
after your mid-year freak out take came out and you really titled that as Demi promotes Zodiac Academy.
Right, because the end of the year one will be coming up soon and it will be no different.
It will be Demi promotes Zodiac Academy.
I should send that to like the authors and be like, look how much I'm doing for your books.
Next time they have an arc coming out, I'd be like, here's all the times I talked about your
Yeah.
books. I
You
think
haven't
I
even
deserve
told
an
me
arc.
to. My 30th birthday cake was your book.
Yes.
They're pretty gruesome. Oh, I mean,
That's okay.
I'm good with gruesome. I've tried the one book I wasn't great with, but it was Splatterpunk. So it was going out of its way to be disgusting and gruesome.
Right.
And that one did get me, but it wasn't because it was bloody. It was like other stuff that they did, and I was like, yeah. So if it's just kind of like stabby, gruesome,
Right.
because like I'd argue mindfuck can get quite graphic with the murder,
Yeah.
but I loved that.
There's certain ones that can. I'm okay with like serial killer gruesome
Mm.
as long as it's done well.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Been reading one a month. See, that was what I wanted to do with the Sookie Stackhouse books. And it is month 10 and I have read 4.
I mean, 4 is more than maybe you would have read had you not made the goal. So like,
True.
you know,
I think there's 13 in the series, so I could technically catch up by the end of the year if I read nothing else.
my thing now is if I make it a dedicated content, like either here on Instagram or here on YouTube or on BookTube, it'll actually get done.
There's an
It's
idea.
just me like going like, oh, that's something I want to do, but I don't have any video plans or any like real plans or anything with it. Then it just keeps getting pushed off for things that are those things because I have like want to get those out.
I want
So
to get the video out, yeah.
right, exactly.
No, that makes sense. I need to decide if I'm following my TBR for the readathon tomorrow, if I'm going to ignore it. All right, for those of you who don't know, Amanda is going to be hosting on and off YouTube
I saw this.
48-hour readathon type thing it's within Camp Crystal Lake, but she may throw her TBR out, so it might not be Camp Crystal Lake at all. I will be around for some of it, but it is during my work day. So I will be in and out. But yeah, I am totally on board with this, and it's a great push towards the end of Camp Crystal Lake.
Absolutely.
So definitely check out. I'll put in the comments the link to Amanda's sprints tomorrow as well. So if you want to join us tomorrow, you are more than welcome. They're all on script. Of course, they're all on script. The one that I dropped.
Honestly, that's a big factor for me is if I can get the audiobook for something. I'm much more likely to commit if I can get the audio.
A lot of books that are on Scribd have also seemed to end up on what am I on now? Spotify.
Okay.
The Crucifix Killer is on there and it's included in premium. There we go.
Yay!
I can listen to it tomorrow when I'm doing my what am I doing tomorrow? I'm not quite sure what I'm doing at work tomorrow, but I think at least one day this week I am downloading millions of reports. So I can have an audiobook on and hopefully not get too distracted.
Nice.
They're so fast paced. I read 2, 3, 4 in one day. Oof.
Wow.
I miss when I could read multiple books in a day. I just don't have the time anymore.
They're not even short either. They're chunky.
No, it's 300 pages. The first one's 448.
I know.
That is impressive.
That is impressive.
And there's 12 of them. Oh well, I'll get there. Night Stalker has been my fave so far. Goodreads tells me that's book 3. So I will keep an eye out for that one as well. I don't know which one's my favorite, but Gallery of the Dead has a special place in my heart because I got the arc. That's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I feel like books I read as arcs. Actually, books I've read as arcs have been hit or miss for me. So
isn't it the worst when you start an arc and you're like, oh no, I'm
not enjoying this. No, I remember I got my first physical arc and I was so excited, and then I started reading it and it was written about my boss. It was written about a data analyst who lives in Yorkshire but sometimes works in London, whose name is Kate. Now my boss's name is Kate. We both work in data analysis, and she's not quite in York. Well, no, she's in this county of Yorkshire, but she's not actually in York or anything. I was like, this book is you. Like,
So
I'm
funny.
reading about you, and it's a rom-com, and I was like, well, that's weird.
That is weird. Yeah.
I think if it had been any other name, it would have been fine. But no,
That's
I
fair.
was reading about my boss.
Yeah.
It's still Count Crystal Lake, but I may change the books. They'll still, I mean, this is true. I assume you're completely off of my prompts now and are now stealing other people's, because I know you're a very fast reader. And I think I saw in the comments that you just submitted another 4 books, which is amazing, considering that's the total number I've submitted.
Amanda's doing the most. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Whenever Amanda's on our team for readathons.
Yes,
Amanda,
we do.
are you on Scarlet for Clue? I think so. Yes?
We will find out.
I'm pretty sure.
The narrator is
Yes,
the same for
yes,
all of them, and he's fantastic. Great, because the narrator makes up or breaks a
It
book
really
for me.
does. It really does.
I liked, here we go.
I knew it. I knew the things.
You know
I was like,
things.
I'm positive I've seen you in the Discord. And then I second guessed myself and I was like, maybe that was a different Discord.
There's so many Discords.
Then I
I'm
second
trying to cut down and I still have so many.
Oh, and I'm not really on Discord that often. Like I'll go in, I'll pop in, I'll check it for a second, and then I run away. Because it's just too much. Like it's just a lot. It's just so much.
There you go. When you're in a team, I'm always in your team.
Girl.
This is adorable. This has me wanting to reread the whole series. Oh no. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. If you want to reread them, go for it.
What have we
I
done?
reckon you could get all 12 read again before the end of the year.
Probably.
If you can read them that quick. You got this. But that is the end of the comments. So I will put up a timer. We've got 45 minutes.
Sounds great.
And then we will come back and see how we're going.
Sounds good.
See you in 45. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. If anyone hasn't refreshed, if you refresh Brittany, and so Brittany's channel is now on the description as well as Amanda's sprints for tomorrow.
Awesome.
'Cause
Amanda's
I
sprints are like
remember to do
at 6
that.
a.m. for me, which is perfect. I'll like get up, get a coffee,
Start reading.
start my day with Amanda.
I think it's the perfect way to start your day, to be honest.
I agree.
Right. So Effie agrees that she probably could read the whole series again before end of the year. I mean, now you just have to for the challenge.
You kind of, yeah, now you just kind of need to do it.
We're challenging you now. You got to do it.
Done.
Stephanie finished Lore Olympus and The Bewitching of Evelyn Jones.
Nice.
Well done. And then called it an early night. So I don't know if you're still here. If you are, good night.
I
If
mean,
you're
you
not,
finished 2 books, so that's
yeah, you're doing better than all of us.
really.
We were joined by Zoe. Hello, Zoe. Joining us. How are you finding How to Sell a Haunted House? It's creepy. But books have never got me before, but this one is getting me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm up to page 183, which I think is about halfway. It looks about halfway.
Yeah, I'd say that's close to halfway, if not over. Yeah.
Chapter 18. There's been a revelation about one of the puppets.
About a puppet.
You know.
I just don't know if I could get on with the puppets.
I don't. If you don't like puppets, you will not get on with this book.
I don't think.
I don't think I realized how puppety it was going to be when I bought it.
I know that's why Rainey didn't like it, or one of the.
I can understand not liking it, because
or at least like one of the reasons Rainey didn't like it was because it was puppety.
It's very puppety, and if you don't do puppets, you're not gonna like this.
Yeah,
it's gonna freak you out. Hello, Mr. Rorosuri. I'm so
with Ro.
Ro. Perfect. Let's go with Ro. I apologize if I completely trashed your name there. So Amanda decorated for Halloween and cooked. What did you have for dinner? Very important question. I went out for a carvery. It was really nice. It was veggie carvery, but still carvery. They do macaroni cheese as a side dish, which I don't understand, but I like.
Yeah, I mean, I like mac and cheese in all of its times, so that's fine.
I like mac and cheese always, so to have it as a side dish is delicious. Got 70% in the pram. Exciting. You are very welcome, Amanda. If that was me putting it in your comments or Brittany saying starting the day with you, you're welcome from both of us.
Exactly.
So Rose reading Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, 3.5 stars. Okay. Nice. I have never finished a book by Cassandra Clare.
I've read the first 3 of the series.
I owned the first Shadowhunters, and I read some of it, and then I never picked it up again and ended up donating it. I also did that with the first Game of Thrones book. Fair. But I was not in the right space to read Game of Thrones when I first picked that up.
To be honest, and now that I have read all the Game of Thrones books that are out, and assuming it never continues, which you kind of have to assume.
You would assume.
Not sure it's worth it.
Okay, I won't bother. I won't pick them up again.
Because the last book is clearly has middle book syndrome.
Oh.
So it's the last book, and it's clearly setting us up for like this big thing that's happening in the next book, but the next book never came. So
you just have to make it up.
So it's just like depressing.
It's the opposite of whatever the series did, because I know no one liked that.
So like I liked earlier books in the series, but like I just feel like it feels so, I don't know. It was so sad, the last book. Because I was just like, all we are is moving people around. Like we're just moving people around to set up for something that's coming.
That never happened.
Nothing ever came.
That's fair. That's how I felt about the Guild by Raven Kennedy, the first book, was basically a prequel in my eyes, but I haven't gone on with the series, so I don't know what it was a prequel to.
Right, but at least the other books were written.
Yes.
So you can have that option. Like, I would have been
I
okay
could go
with
and
that
find
book.
out.
Like, I would have been okay with that book being just setting up for the next book and getting everybody where they needed to be for
But
something.
there is no next book.
If the next book was ever going to be written.
Nope. You
But at
get
this
to make
point,
it up.
we can assume that.
And they all live happily ever after.
Sure. That's how we're going to end it. Everyone was fine.
It's a good book, but the brother and sister annoyed me so much. Yeah, they're annoying me too. They just, they're very clashy, and I feel like half of the problems could be fixed if they just talked. But actually, coming to this puppet revelation, I'm now having a better time understanding maybe why they don't talk. But again, I'll keep it spoiler free for everyone in the comments, and then I will spoil Brittany later.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Because I don't think you're going to read it.
I'm never going to read this book. We can all just be sure that I'm never going to read this book.
So Ro is reading Beholder by Brian LaSala. I will go and quickly look up that one.
I need to look at this.
Brian.
Ro is the reason that my TBR grows in every sprint, to be honest.
It's a really, that is a gorgeous cover.
By whom?
Ryan LaSala.
Because I was like, there's a few with that title, so I need to. Oh, what is this?
I feel like I need to make a separate wish list on Goodreads that is just sprint recommendations.
That's true. This is horror, so I'm going to pass. I kind of assumed it was with the big spider on the cover, but
you don't read books about massive spiders?
I don't read horror. I mean, I do. I keep forcing myself to try. And
maybe it's just not for you.
Stop doing that. Although I will say, I said this to Demi behind the scenes. I do like gothic horror. Because Dracula is like my favorite classic. Like, I do like gothic horror, so that I like. But like today horror, not so much.
So everyone in the comments drop the best gothic horrors so that Brittany's TBR gets even longer.
Yeah, dangerous. That's dangerous.
And in all fairness, I'll probably read them as well. Did you read Hill House or Haunting of Hill House?
No, but I have it.
I
somewhere
watched the series first, and I feel like that was a mistake.
Oh yeah, I would say that was probably a mistake. I tried to really
read. So big.
I really try to read the books first. I really do try. If I don't read the book first, it's because I didn't realize it was a book.
I don't think I realized there was a book.
Right.
But the book is nothing like the...
That happened to me with a movie recently, and then I found out it was one of Catherine Center's books, and I was like, oh, I would have read the book first.
Yeah, the book is nothing like the show. And it's one of those ones where I'm like, how did you make such an amazing show out of that source material? Same with Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing happens in The Handmaid's Tale.
No.
And that's what, 4 or 5, at least 5 series on a TV show?
Yeah, it's 5 seasons, I think. Yeah.
And every episode has you like filled with dread.
Oh, it's really quite traumatizing.
Yeah, it does seem to be getting mixed reviews. I'll once I've finished it, I will let you know my full thoughts, but it's good in the spooky department. It is making me feel a bit ugh in a good way. I realize that ugh is not a good descriptor.
It is in horror though, I think.
True. Yeah, it's making me feel uneasy, and I'm now slightly worried about my wardrobe over there. Because it's got the same opening mechanism as the one in the book.
Oh no.
So now that's going to be in my dreams.
Oh no.
Read 18% of Enchanted to Meet You by Meg Cabot. Cabot? Is it Cabot or Cabot?
I say Cabot, but I don't know the correct answer.
I don't know. By Meg, and having a good time. She wrote The Princess Diaries, didn't she?
I don't know that answer either.
Oh, what are you here for?
Honestly, I only knew about this book because all of a sudden this happens sometimes with books. I'm sure everyone understands this. You will have never heard of a book. And then every time you open Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, it's everywhere. All of a sudden. Like a book that you have never heard of in your days has now taken over your entire feed. This is books. This is one. Yeah, and now I'm like prepping Iron Flame, and next month is going to take over all of the places.
I have it on pre-order, and I've not read Fourth Wing yet.
I did not pre-order Iron Flame, and I have read Fourth Wing.
I can't even remember why I pre-ordered. Oh no, I think it was the pre-order email came out, and then at the same time I was able to pre-order the third Crescent City book.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, well, I might as well. And now I need to sell my I have the Fairy Loot Crescent Cities. But I decided I don't want to keep paying a lot of money for special editions from Fairy Loot.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna sell them and then get them in like just normal hardback, I think. I don't need them that pretty. If it was a standalone where I knew I wouldn't have to invest in more, I think it's all right. But
like, that's going to be a long series, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not. I ain't got money for that.
I can understand that.
It's like I got
you don't want all your series to match.
Yeah, exactly. I got the Hawthorne Legacy. Was it Hawthorne Legacy? The Inheritance Games trilogy.
Yeah.
From Fairy Loot. And then she announced the fourth one. I was like, for God's sake. So that is coming. But if she does any more, I'm not doing that.
Fair. That's fair.
Amanda had chicken fingers and chips. Nice. I say that. When I used to eat chicken, it was one of my favourite things. So jealous. It was my sister's idea. She wanted to treat us. Mac and cheese is the veggie option. That's where I went. I went to Toby's.
There you go.
So I don't know. We have a chain of Toby Carver is like a pub chain where it's a all-you-can-eat buffet for a roast dinner. And yeah, I haven't been in ages. But Jess went on Sunday and went, oh my God, it's so good. I need to go back. So we all went. And I couldn't finish it because I had too much. But yeah, mac and cheese. It works. I tried to keep the gravy away from it. Just because I'm not sure how I feel about mac and cheese and gravy.
Yeah.
Cheese and gravy in general, but Amanda said thank you for the comment and the description. Well, you're very welcome for all of it.
You're welcome.
I can't read CC either. CC, what were we talking about? I mean, Crescent City.
That's all I think is Crescent City, but that definitely was not.
We only just started talking about that.
Right. So now
remind me what CC means.
Because I was thinking Crescent, my brain went Crescent City, but I was like, this comment was before we talked about it.
This was way before that. Alicia got to page 170 in Black River Orchard. Weird and not sure what's going on, but having a good time. I love books like that. Last year, I read Bunny by Mona Awad. I could not tell you what happens in that book, but it was like one of my favorite books last year. It's just so weird. So yeah, I love weird books. Anticlimactic.
Yeah.
RE Game of Thrones. Definitely. So Kelly read 37 pages. Congrats.
Very good.
I do horror but hate spiders. That's fair. See, I do horror but hate clowns, so I will never read it.
I feel like a lot of people will never read it. It's quite quite a large novel.
It's large and it has some very interesting scenes, and I won't watch the films. I will do nothing with clown horror or clowns in general, to be honest. I don't like clowns. CC is Cassandra Clare. That makes more sense.
That makes sense with what we were talking about at the time.
Yes, that lines up.
I was like, all I could think was Crescent City.
Crescent City? You're not going to read Crescent, which is fine. Going to look up The Beholder if it's horror. It is horror, so hopefully you've had a look. Here we go. Summer Suns by Lee Mandello is one of Rose's favorite gothic horrors. So I'm going to have to... All these tabs that I opened during sprints Just have it all open.
Ooh, I love the cover. Oh, I already have this on Want to Read and guaranteedly. Let's be honest, Ro. It's because you've told me about it.
There we go. You've already told her. I cannot for the life
Guaranteed.
of me remember where I put my Kindle. Gonna have to find it if I'm gonna read all the Chris Carter books in 2 months. That's fair. Maybe it'll be cheaper for me to. Well, actually, the first one's on Spotify. Doesn't matter. Is the book any better of Haunting of Hill House? Because IMO the series. See, I loved the series, but I did watch it very ill with COVID, so I can't tell you exactly what happens. The book, I feel like less happens in the book.
It's a very small book.
It's a very small book, and the family dynamic that's in the series is not in the book. They're not related at all. So it's different. I mean, it has your iconic parts, and again, I'm trying not to spoil it, even though I know it's a very old book and a slightly less old TV show. But I loved it. So it is different, but yeah, it's short. So if you want to give it a try, it won't take long.
No, it's very short. I haven't read it, but I own it, so I
Yeah, it's
like teeny.
tiny.
It's a teeny book.
Brittany, you should maybe try the Hacienda.
I've heard this, and I don't know if I put it on Want to Reads when someone told me that I should.
I've heard of it, and I don't own it, but I do think it's something I'd enjoy. I feel like Sylvia Moreno Garcia does a lot of gothic horror as well.
True, and all of those books are on my TBR to try.
I own one book by her, and I can't find it at the moment. I think the birthday card is covering it up, to be honest. Yes, Meg Cabot did write The Princess Diaries. My useless knowledge is coming through once again. We were watching. I don't know if you've ever seen it because it's a very British TV show, but I know you do like British TV shows.
British TV.
It's called Only Connect, and it's a quiz show where you have to find the connections between seemingly random clues.
No,
we watch it every Monday night. I am addicted. It's a very highbrow quiz show.
Well,
my sister's boyfriend hates it because he doesn't understand it, which is fair. But there was a question on it, and the answer was that it's the final 4 games in Squid Game. And I was like, I am never going to have to use that knowledge ever again.
Never.
But I just scored like 3 points on this game.
I can watch the episodes.
It's infuriating because once they tell you what the link is, you're like, oh my God, it's so obvious.
Of course.
But, yeah, if you have time to fill and you want to try a new quiz show, go for it.
Always.
And Zoe pronounces it Cabot too. I'm going to now pronounce Cabot.
There you go.
She's now Cabot.
Whether that's right or not.
Ro knew as well. I need the sequel to Divine. I own Divine Rivals. I think Claire bought it for me, and I have not read it yet.
I need to read this. When I will read it, I don't know.
Hello, Shell. How are you doing? I'm glad your power is back.
I feel like I haven't seen Shell in ages. Like,
Shell,
we need to get together, Shell. I need to have you on sprints or something soon because I miss you.
Shell, obviously, I say obviously, Shell lives up in Scotland, and we've just had Storm Babet, and it hit worst up in Scotland, and I think she was without power for a big chunk of the weekend.
Oh,
but I'm very glad she's back. So Ro is reading Iron Flame on Libby when it's published. I wish I could read books as soon as they come out.
I feel like the Libby wait for that is going to be massive.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That's going to be months, I'm sure.
I know it'll probably be on Scribd because Fourth Wing's on Scribd. So, like, I'm assuming Iron Flame will also be on Scribd.
And there's no weights on Scribd, is there? Until you time yourself out.
Until you have to pay again, yeah. So I just don't know if I'm going to continue with Fourth Wing. To be all honesty, I could go either way. I'm going to kind of wait and see
Wait until Amazon have it for like half price.
Iron Wit. Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see how it goes, how people think of it, and I could be persuaded to read it, but like,
Yeah, that's how I bought Fourth Wing because Amazon was selling it for like £10, and I was like, "Excuse me, £10 hardback? Yes, please."
like I don't even have my copy of Fourth Wing anymore. I gave it to Crystal, so
We'll see. We'll see.
Crystal loves it, and I had the pretty sprayed edges,
Oh,
and I
you
did not
had
let
the
it. There was
elusive.
no reason for me to have the pretty sprayed edges.
You had the elusive special edition.
I did, and I didn't like the book enough. I didn't hate it, but like I didn't like it enough that I really needed the pretty edition. So
That's where I'm lucky. I'm a paperback girl and don't care about special. Yeah, to read, I am a paperback girly. I don't enjoy holding a hardback, but I do enjoy how they look on my shelves.
Same.
It's a problem. I can't win. I want to own it in both hardback and paperback, so that I can read the paperback but show off the hardbacks.
That's fair.
That's a bit extra. Just a little bit extra.
Just a little.
Back to Toby. They do breakfast Yorkshire pudding with jam. Oh, see, I don't like jam. I'm very weird, but I do love Yorkshire puddings with golden syrup on as like dessert. So I could see how that would be nice. I'm now wondering, do I have to explain Yorkshire puddings to Brittany?
I do know what it is.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever eaten one.
That's fair.
But I do know what they are.
That's good enough. We'll take that.
There you go.
And golden syrup is
I watch a lot of British TV.
You do. I'm pretty sure they had to make them on Bake Off at least once.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I watch a lot of British TV.
We have a problem.
For someone who doesn't live in Britain and has never gone. I watch.
You just have to emigrate.
I get happily.
Spiders, clowns, dolls, and scarecrows for me. Hate them. Yeah. What? Oh my god! Why did you read How to Sell a Haunted House?
Did it hit so many?
You don't do dolls, but you read it. Have you started watching The Fall of House? I haven't. Mostly because when I first heard about it, I assumed it was like some sort of biopic.
I also have not watched it, mostly because as much as I say I watch a lot of British TV, which is true, I don't actually watch a lot of TV.
That's fair.
And the British TV I watch in like spurts. So like as Demi knows, the Traitors and Me were done and dusted in a day and a half.
You binged.
Like I start and I don't stop until it's over, and then I don't watch TV for a month or two. Like that's just how I.
But yeah, I didn't realize it was horror. I thought it was kind of like, is it like House of Gucci or whatever that TV show was or film was?
Oh, movie, yeah.
And I thought it was about someone with the surname Usher. I didn't presume it was about the rapper, but I assumed it was some sort of biopic. But no, it's horror, so it's definitely on my list of things to watch. Mexican Gothic was amazing. Haven't read much Gothic horror, but that one was good. I haven't read it. I don't actually own it. I need to get it. Only Connect is so difficult. It is. We were watching it this week. I don't think we got any right. But yeah, when I do get something right, I do feel very smart. Or I feel like my years of knowing useless things have finally paid off. AKA the Squid Game links. It was like, I can't remember what it was. Tug of War. And then the next one was Marbles. And I was like, Squid Game.
Like, I got it.
Like, what? I was like, Mum, you've watched Squid Game. You know, that's the games. And she's like, oh, yeah. Haven't talked my dad into it yet, but I'm going to. Amanda is obsessed with Divine Rivals. It's her favorite book of the year.
I just bought it.
I'll try and read it. I make no promises that I will get to it at any point soon.
I literally bought it in my shop with me, and Jess called me out in the comments because I literally went, I'm definitely maybe gonna read it in November.
Definitely maybe is fair.
Definitely maybe.
Zoe said hello to Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea, I think auto-corrected, but she meant Shell. That's fair. Ro hasn't read Fourth Wing, and I'll be reading Iron Flame. That's a move.
I mean, I would probably read Fourth Wing first.
I mean, I would, but then I'm a stickler for rules and
Or
series order.
you might be confused.
Come back and let us know, though. Same Brittany, I had power, but you had power but no internet. Oh, that's even worse. Because it's like just taunting you.
Shell, I'll message you in the next sprint because I want to see your face. I'll message you.
Zoe says, are you doing another Saturday read a book in 8 hours live stream?
Probably not
Anytime
this
soon?
year. Probably not this year. Next month, well, I take that back.
Probably not this Saturday.
Not this month. Next month, I have Ice Planet Barbarian sprints for like 14 hours with Leandra. So, like, that's enough. Really.
There's a lot of Ice Planet Barbarians to get through.
Plus the clue sprints. But in December, I have something going on. So this potentially
this is exciting.
may happen.
Keep an eye out on Brittany's channel for something in December.
Yeah.
So Iron Flame has been on Libby for months for Alicia. She's 50 out of 400 holds.
400 holds.
I mean, at least you're in the you're like really close to it.
I mean, yeah. And they're probably going to have a fair few copies.
Everyone's talking about Fourth Ring. It's got me wanting to read it, but I'm not a fantasy girl at all. That's fair. If you're not fantasy, I don't think it's going to be for you.
Well, I would not say that because a lot of people who I know who have loved it are not fantasy people. And I have heard it touted on Instagram as a fantasy for romance readers, which I, as someone who's read it, can see how that could be a thing.
So it's more of a romance with fantasy elements.
I mean, it's fantastical, but like it's yeah.
Brittany, if you move to England, you've got to put yourself somewhere between me and Zoe. I mean, that's fair, but then I'd argue you've also got to kind of put yourself between me and Zoe and Shell. And Shell's quite away north.
Friends I need to. Where's the most central place in all of the UK?
Where's the? It's like Midlands.
We have to do the whole of the UK because I have friends in all of the places.
It's probably somewhere in the Midlands. It might actually be Yorkshire, going back to that arc.
So that's where I'll need to position myself.
Or you go somewhere far enough from me that I can fly instead of train.
Well, I currently live far enough away from you that you can fly.
You know what I mean? Like, I can fly to Scotland.
Already there. Oh, you can fly to Scotland, yeah. That's true.
As opposed, like, the train would probably take me all day, whereas the flight is like an hour.
Yeah.
So I'd choose, even my work now, fly us to Scotland instead of making us get the train, because it's not worth the hassle. So Amanda likes torturing herself, even own a horror doll and have her locked up. Like an Annabelle sort of thing. I have not watched Annabelle. Oh, maybe I should watch Annabelle, see if it is dolls or if it's just puppets. What channel is Only Connect on? It is on BBC Two. So it should be on iPlayer. I also love a quiz show. So BBC Two or One on a Monday night is basically quiz night. You get Mastermind, which is clever people about one specific subject. And then you get Only Connect, which is clever people who think outside the box. And then you have University Challenge, which is clever students that don't have a life. And I can answer less and less questions as the night goes on. Once it gets to University Challenge, you're lucky if I get one. Because they're so obscure. Intriguing. I've watched a lot of spoiler blogs and critique blogs. That will definitely help. Yeah,
that will help.
Amanda says you've also got to live near her.
True. That's what I mean. I have so many.
Yeah, Zoe's guessing Birmingham is in the middle. Shell says it's Manchester. Okay. I mean, it's everywhere is way north of me. Amanda is in South Wales, so most things are way north and east of her. But yeah, Manchester is way north, way too north. It's not that. No, it is quite north.
I mean, I would happily live in London, so
But
that
in all fairness,
but I feel like that's
it's
far from everyone.
it's an hour away from me. It's great.
Well, there you go. Good for Zoe too, that's the next comment, that's how I saw it.
Yep.
But I'm very
Are
far
we near each other or are we just opposite sides of like London? I wonder. I know we've spoken about this, but I cannot remember.
that could be you could be close.
We might be neighbors at this point. Who knows?
I would love to find a book person who lives near me. Like, that would be so exciting. Hi,
Welcome
Courtney.
to the sprint. I can post a pic to you, Demi, of my dog. Yes. I think I want to see it even if it ends up giving me nightmares. Love Mastermind. I really like Celebrity Mastermind because they are very much not clever. And they have not practiced or revised at all, and it's so funny to watch. Yeah, almost everything is south of Shell, which is very true. I don't think you can get much more north than Shell on the like mainland. There's a few islands.
I could go for living in Scotland though, to be honest.
I could go
So
for living in
beautiful.
Scotland. I found this because where I live, everything is very expensive. Because I'm obviously so close to London.
That's the issue with living close to London. In any major city, like Canada's
Yeah.
the same way. Like, you live in a city and it's like all of a sudden quadrupled the price of everything.
But yeah, if I move up to Scotland, I don't even have to be in North Scotland. I can just cross the border and be in, oh my God, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but just above the border, and housing is so much cheaper.
Right.
And I was like, I could get like myself a free bed, semi-detached, like half-joined house for like a fraction of what it would cost down here. I
Yeah.
can't afford anything down here. So I am stuck. Not that it's a bad thing, but yeah. So Zoe's opposite side, yeah. I mean, I'm in London a lot for work, so I'll let you know. I say a lot, it's like once a quarter, but that's a lot for me.
It's still a lot.
That's 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Although now I've done New York, London seems very tiny. Was there a couple weeks ago and I was like, I can see the sky. Like, I don't have to look straight up and I can see the sky.
Yeah. New York is congested.
Thank you, Amanda. I will look when we start the next sprints. Inverness is north. There we go. I've been to Inverness.
I would gladly live in Inverness and live my Outlander life. Okay. Happily.
Yeah, we stayed. Inverness was my first aeroplane holiday because our parents wanted to figure out if we actually could fly, like, and not hate it. So we went up to Scotland and we went to the most northern point and got a picture there, and then went on a ferry to have a look at all the birds that live on like the cliffs. And that's all I remember from that holiday.
That's all I've got.
And I got pooed on by the bird, which apparently is good luck, but I think they just tell you that because
you're sad that you were pooed on by a bird.
like there's nothing else is going to make that better.
Right.
Christy M says the only booktuber I know that lives in Nova Scotia other than you is Ariel Bissett.
I don't think I know this booktuber, but I should.
Especially because it's Canadian and you pronounce a lot of things the French way. That could be
I would
Bissett
say that's
or
Bissett.
My one bed apartment is $800 a month, but that includes water, gas, and things like garden, window cleaners. See, I think that's probably similar to what rent would be here, and I can't afford that at the moment. I pay a very subsidized rent to my parents. But she doesn't post a lot of book videos anymore, mostly home reno, but she does have a book podcast. I love home reno stuff.
Me too.
It then makes me wish I had my own home. Oh wow, Ariel has been on BookTube for a long time. She is like an OG BookTuber. Exciting.
That is exciting.
I don't actually know who the OG BookTubers are.
I know more of the British OG BookTubers than the
like when I think of OG YouTubers, I think of like Phil DeFranco.
Yeah, but
and I still watch him. He's an American news person.
Yeah, I know who.
Yeah, oh, that's sorry.
Yeah, no, I have watched.
Anyone that doesn't know him, if you've been living under a rock for God knows how many years, because But yeah, I watch his videos every
He's
morning
good
while
for,
I eat
like,
breakfast.
the gossip, like, because he actually researched, so, like, I believe what he's saying.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with those news channels, you just never really, like, know,
He's the only one I watch.
right?
Even though he very rarely covers anything to do with me.
True.
But I enjoyed the road rage ban that was on this morning's one. Or technically yesterday evening. I don't know when he posts. I watch it first thing in the morning when I'm eating my breakfast. Joined by Sophie. Hello. Rose says, I think Arrow's been on YouTube since
Oh, yeah,
2012. Yeah, that
Chris is
would
so
probably
cute.
be OG. I don't know when YouTube started, but that seems like.
Well, especially for, like, BookTube, because, like, I
Yeah.
would assume, like, there was like, that's probably around when BookTube started.
I wonder who first had the idea to start talking about books on YouTube.
Right. Like, who was
And
the first?
they were clever.
They were so clever.
That is the end of our comments. So should we go for another 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Fab. Right, I will see you in 45. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. We were joined by Bob during that sprint. So hello, Bob. Thanks
Hello.
for coming. Yeah, it's quite a good one. Lots of people tuning in, hopefully getting their last, well, I say last, we've still got a week before the end of the month.
I still feel like it is kind of already starting that rush to like finish our October TBRs. Like I feel like
spooky books.
that's, and maybe that's because I do like, I don't know. I feel like October is spooky season and then December is like holiday season. But what's November? Like, what is the vibes of
I
November?
guess it's the transition. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're American, it's Thanksgiving season.
Yeah, see, it's not. We have Thanksgiving in October.
Yeah, you've done Thanksgiving,
I've
and
done
we
it.
don't do Thanksgiving.
It's done. It's passed. I finished the thanking.
You are thankful.
Which is kind of nice because I feel like in Canada we kind of, because we don't really have any other holidays now between now and Christmas. Like we don't other, like once Halloween's over, that's really it. We have Remembrance Day, but that's not really like a holiday. That's just like a remembering the
We
veterans,
have Remembrance Day, and we have fireworks night here.
So that's really all we have, and that's not really like a holiday you celebrate. Like, you know, you remember, but you don't really decorate or anything. You know what I'm saying? So, after Halloween, we kind of switch right into Christmas here.
Yeah, we do as well.
We're like really
I mean,
early.
our supermarkets are already putting their Halloween stuff on, like, what's the word when they're just trying to get rid of it?
Clearance?
Clearance, that's the word. And are like trying to push Christmas stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's not even been Halloween yet.
I know.
I'd get it from like November. Christmas, but you know, we've technically got the spooky day to come.
We do. We have a week left, exactly a week, because I realized that Tuesday Night Sprints is on Halloween when I went to make thumbnails today.
Nice. Have you got some spooky sprints coming up?
We're gonna do book club sprints on this Tuesday because both of us are hosts for Get a Clue Readathon, so there's not really a good time in November to do the book club sprints because there's Clue stuff every night and we don't want to compete with because we're part of Clue. Like it just doesn't make sense to go at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was like, why don't we just do book club sprints the day before so that it's like done and dusted. It's basically November. We'll finish the books in November. Like it's fine. But we'll get them started on. So they are spooky because it's like culty vibes, the book.
Yeah.
So we're doing Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. So.
Oh, I've heard good things.
Yeah. So that's spooky for Halloween. It works.
I liked In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by her.
In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Me too.
That's all I've read by her. But I do hear she's good.
The Last Housewife wasn't my favorite. I know a lot of people loved it, so I know I'm in the minority on that. It's a podcast book, which I typically love, and I think that's why I didn't like it. Is I love a podcast book, and I was very excited for it to be a podcast, and I was excited for the audiobook to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And it was one narrator reading me the transcripts, like if I would read it. So it was like Laura, and then what Laura said.
Yeah,
and
you want more of a
so
podcast.
I'm making up characters' names because I do not remember, but it's like Laura and what she said. And then be like Dennis and what Dennis said. And it would say the name. And I would be like, I was so annoyed.
Yeah.
That's not my only issue with it, but that was one of my issues.
No, that's fair. Joined by Kay. She listening to Witchborn by Nicholas Bowling while doing house stuff. Thank you for the like. That's another book I'm gonna have to look up, aren't I?
I know.
Why did you not type Witch? I'm gonna add all of these to a list at some point so that I can read them. Amanda has done. No, I don't want to make Chrome faster. More Halloween decorating. Damn pop-ups. But yeah, more decorating. Read another 70 pages. I have died in the game. That's fine. Sophie has read 80 pages. 85 left. We'll finish Ling Hun tomorrow. Ling Hun? Is that another book? I don't know it.
I don't know.
But it is a book. Yes, it's a book.
See, I've never heard of it.
From A. Jiang horror novella.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why you've never heard of it.
That's probably why I've never heard of it.
Kay listened to a chapter and folded a load of laundry. Congratulations. Effie finished the book, 3.75 stars, and updated your journal as I had 4 books I'd not put in yet.
That is
I
the
mean, I say I know the feeling, but at this year I haven't been sticking in pictures of books.
Mhm.
I will be next year. My journal is on its way.
I do not have a reading journal because I just know I would never keep up with it. Like, it is just I would do it for 3 books at the start of the year, and then I would never touch it again because that's just who I am for that. But I do keep my Goodreads up to date. So,
I
there's
try and keep everything up to great up to date. But yeah, sometimes I have to backdate it a bit. But it's my journal. I'll do what I want.
exactly.
So Jill is 77% into Assistant to the Villain. Need to start laundry and make an apple cake. Wow,
Ooh, love that.
that sounds fun. Same. So Smart Brittany, good to know. I'm excited to read this one.
Yes, I'm gonna post the link in the Discord, which is why you didn't know that there were sprints. That book club sprints were Tuesday. I'm gonna announce it tomorrow when I schedule the sprints. I made the thumbnail, but I didn't get around to actually scheduling anything. Didn't get to that at all.
It's exciting. That is the end of the comments. It was a quick comments this time.
Fun.
Shall we do one more sprint?
One more sounds good.
One more. Let's pop that on the bottom. And I will see you in 45 minutes. Welcome back. I may have got a bit into that book, but how is everyone doing? I've got up to page 232.
Nice.
We've changed perspectives. We've changed which person we're writing in.
That's nice.
We've jumped to first person.
Don't you hate when that happens though for a second? You're like, I got to get used to this.
Okay, we're in first person, but which person are we?
Right?
So it took a while, but
that's fair.
I have caught up.
I got to 104.
Nice.
And I'm on the last short story of this part, so I almost got to part 2. I'm so close. I have just under 30 pages left to get to the end of part 1, so I'll finish that on my first sprint tonight, and then I'll do something else.
Are you enjoying it?
I am really enjoying it. I am. So the stories are what I thought they were. They are like kind of not folklore. They're definitely like fictional stories. So the first part is from like the 1800s. So we have a chapter of or a short story from someone who was at the same retreat that Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein at. So it's that kind of time frame.
Okay.
And obviously that book was not, it was a short story. It wasn't a full book like Frankenstein, so it didn't get quite the same
hype.
Recall. But the editor who put this together did a really good job of like explaining who each person is, and also the folklore around each short story of like what was going on at the time that made that kind of be what they thought vampires were like, or various things of that nature, which is really interesting. So it kind of like explains what you would need to know to like make the story even more interesting.
Yeah.
So I really feel like each author also has like a little bit about them before their story, kind of explaining like I said, that this person was at the retreat with Mary blah 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 from the editor. So I feel like there's a really great context around each story.
Yeah.
Which really brings a lot to it in my opinion. I'm enjoying it. It definitely reads like a little bit of a nonfiction because of that though. So there's like fictional stories, but then there's like this nonfiction element of like context.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. I'll have to go and look for it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
More
but I'm glad I have the audiobook because where the stories are older, the language in some of them is
not great.
I mean, it's in the 1800s. So like it's written that way. And sometimes I find it harder to read, like when it's therefore art thou, whatever. Sometimes an audiobook helps.
That's my issue with classics.
Because it reads very classics.
It just reads, yeah.
Yeah, not the editor's part. Like obviously that's in like normal stuff, but the stories that are written in the 1800s were written in the 1800s.
Can't modernize them now.
Right.
I mean, it probably could, but I feel like it probably wouldn't have the same effect.
No, I think it would lose that gothic style a little bit that brings them to them. Yeah, they're good short stories. I'm just glad I have the audiobook. I feel like if I was reading them, I would have a little bit of harder time like sinking into them.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So Effie said, I handmake my journals because I'm extra. So do you bullet journal, Effie? If so, like, we need to become best friends. I'm filming my I need to film it at some point this weekend. I don't know when I'm going to film it, but for November's bullet reading journal. Hopefully. I've sketched it all out. I just need to actually sit down, film it, and do it all in pen.
I love watching your journal stuff.
Thank you.
I don't even journal, and I just find it so relaxing and fun to watch.
And then she's going to add her review to Storygraph and then read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Exciting. Amanda was very ready for sprints. She finished her book. Amazing. What did you think? I can't remember what you were reading, but it was the middle grade version of my book, wasn't it? Creepy Puppets.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Kay did some more adulting. Here. Thank you. You're very welcome for the sprints. Thank you for coming. So Effie updated Storygraph, read a chapter, and then had a reading break, scrolled through TikTok, ate some Pom Bears. I haven't had Pom Bears in God knows how long.
I have a follow-up question. What's a Pom Bear?
So it's a type of crisp. Do you have? I'm trying to think what they're like.
I'm gonna Google.
They're like baked, and they're shaped like bears.
Oh,
They're crisp.
we have nothing shaped like bears.
That's the only crisp really that is shaped like something.
Oh, they're like Teddy Grahams. Okay. Yes, except they're a potato chip.
Yes, potato.
Okay, ours are we have cookies that are like this, but they're like cookies.
No, they're basically crisps, chips.
Interesting.
Nothing wrong with Pom Bears. They do. When I did Slimming World, this is many years ago, they were basically the only crisps I ate because they were like the least amount of sins. And so I just lived off of Pom Bears as snacks.
I can order them apparently through Amazon.
Oh, I had a friend, he did he like came here for school or work experience or something and fell in love with custard creams, which are a biscuit. It's like 2 biscuits with like a custard creme pat
Okay,
in the
what are they
middle.
called? Custard creams?
Custard creams. They're like bourbon biscuits, but not chocolate. And apparently they don't sell them in America.
You're using other English treats to explain what it is.
Oh, does no one know? Oh, you're missing out.
So then I go,
Creams
that's
or
not
bourbon
helping
biscuits.
me at all.
No
Oh,
bourbon biscuits.
Okay, I know
But
what.
yeah, he
Okay,
found
so
out that
it's
he
like
could get them on Amazon.
we have something similar to this here. We don't call them that, and they're not rectangular shaped; they're circles.
I'll try them.
But it's the same idea with like the 2 cookies with the cream in the middle,
Yeah.
but not like an Oreo, like a cream.
Yeah, no. So the chocolate version, the bourbons, were my study snack when I was at uni. Me and my friend would share a packet of bourbon biscuits whilst we were learning whatever we were having to learn at the time. And that's how we made it through university. Just write book reviews in a handmade journal, track readathons. I mean, it sounds like a bullet journal, but you've said here that you've tried it and it's not your thing, which is very fair. It's not for everyone, and I am going through a phase, at least with my non-reading one, that I didn't do anything for October at all. It just doesn't exist in the journal. It goes straight from mid-September to November.
Who needs October?
I mean, I probably did need it, but I just didn't have the energy to do it.
Like, it's fine.
But I've set up November now, so goal progress. So Roy watched an anime podcast in the last sprint. Otakus Anonymous. Good podcast. I have a crush on the hosts, Danny and Nick. They're so my type. I have a love-hate relationship with myself fancying people online. Because like nothing is ever gonna happen. But because it's like they're YouTubers, they're not stupidly famous where
they're still like an attainable.
There's like a 1% chance. But there's not. There's really not. Teddy Grahams sound good.
Christina, do you not have Teddy Grahams in the US? Is that a Canadian thing?
I mean, it's definitely not a British thing.
I assumed that you would have them as well.
Oh. I feel like we have something similar to them, but they're like kind of aimed towards like babies.
Like animal crackers. Teddy Grahams are different.
No, I don't know.
But they are still kind of aimed for kids. But like
I think the ones that are aimed at babies are more like I think they say they're made out of maize or something.
Oh no, these
I used to work in a supermarket and got put on the baby section a lot.
I never know what's like a Canadian thing and what's both in like the US and Canada, because there's a lot of things that are not in one and not the other.
I love this. I used to take custard creams into schools in year 7 and keep them in my pocket and eat them in lessons. That is amazing. I got away with doing that once I hit college, but my school was quite strict. Unfortunately. I never kept diaries or anything, only tracked books, nothing else. feel like bullet journals tend to involve more. That's fair. I mean, I have a normal bullet journal that I try and organize my life in, emphasis on the word try, and then a reading journal that I just track books in and what I'm reading and readathons and upcoming releases and how much I'm reading and things like that. But yeah, there's lots of different ways to track it if
Mhm.
tracking is your thing, and if it's not, that's fine too. I track far too much. I think I track now for the sake of tracking. I'm like, yeah, well, I should track it.
Fine.
All right, well, that is the end of the comments. So thank you everyone for coming tonight. Oh, one more. I did through most of school. One of my friends would come to me every photography lesson because he knew I'd have them. You were the one.
You had the snacks.
You had the snacks. But yes, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Brittany, for hosting with me.
Anytime.
And keeping me company. It was very kind. You're sprinting tonight?
I'm sprinting in 33 minutes.
33 minutes. So go and check out Brittany's channel if you want some more sprints. I want to go to bed. So that's what I'll be doing. But yeah, Brittany will be sprinting in just over half an hour. And then Amanda is going to be hosting sprints from 10 a.m. BST tomorrow morning. And they are the only sprints I know of at the moment. But I'm sure there are more hanging around. So thank you all for coming. And I will see you all next time, whenever that is. Bye.